Okay, we are checking out BioShock Infinite. I know it says the complete edition right there, but we are playing it as part of the BioShock Collection. We're playing on Nintendo Switch. Keep in mind, it's a review copy provided by the publisher. Came out like last week. We got the physical cart version. Um, so there'll be a video out for BioShock 1 or 2 remastered or collection, whatever you want to call it. So if you're interested in those, go check it out. They'll be somewhere up on the channel. Um, so yeah, either if you're considering purchasing this or you're interested in this, you can pick this again. You can pick this up individually. We will go over some of the information we covered in those other two videos. Uh, you can pick this up individually on the eShop store, or you can pick up as the collection. Um, this is the biggest download out of all of them. Like once it's installed for me, this was a 17.4 gig. So there's conversations around there because Nintendo Switch, that's a lot. That's a big game. This might be the biggest game I've got on the Switch. Actually, I'm lying. Is XCOM. We're gonna cover that in a few days. That's the biggest game I've got on Switch. But this is one of them. Even though I got the physical cart version, it still needed a big download to install and everything. So all of the free games of the collection wasn't on the cart. And again, we're regurgitating some information as well. There's some stories out there that if you got the physical version, it's got DRM where it needs to connect online to validate your copy. Or always needs to be online. That's for the digital version. People have done checks to say the physical version doesn't do that. If you're purchasing this thinking, oh, I'll purchase the physical version, one, to save download size, and two, it doesn't need to always be online. The download stuff size we know about, like all free games are not on the cart. You need to do some downloading to get BioShock 2 and Infinite, and like probably should do a Google search and find out what's going on with that. Mm. Yeah, so I mean that's the gist of it. Let's get into BioShock Infinite. Um this was like is a part of the BioShock trilogy collection, but it's not really how do I explain this? It's not really a BioShock game. Like it doesn't like it plays the same on all that plasmids and all that. Irrational made this, they made BioShock 1, then another studio did BioShock 2, while Irrational was working on BioShock Infinite. Uh this like it's called the complete edition because it's got all the DLC from BioShock Infinite. And the reason that is important is a lot of people say a lot of the DLC from Infinite actually links back to some Burial at Sea, I think it was, links back to BioShock. So in that sense, it's kind of interesting prequel or something. I haven't played it, so I don't know the story and I don't want to spoil it. But this hasn't, like how BioShock 2 had a direct link to BioShock 1. This doesn't. This is a total different story, and just in the sense of in that same kind of vein, and that cool artistic style. So this is what this is. That's what BioShock Infinite is anyway. So if you're going in knowing that this is so, because either you can purchase these individually or as a collection, this is like the one you could probably purchase individually and just play it on its own. Obviously, it's got that DLC that links in. I mean, if you're curious, so it's got Burial at Sea episode 1 and 2. So I'm just saying that if you do pick up the collection, that's a lot of games here, right? A lot of people say this is one of the best games of last generation. Like the opinion on this up like varies, right? It's got a very race oriented story. Like uh, as soon as I start playing, you'll find out. And some people say obviously like does it hold up now? A lot of people think it doesn't. Some people think it does. Some people, so like that's the main conversations around this of why people do like it or don't like it. um I'm just trying to think if there's anything else we got to cover while we just get right in. Oh, and the other big thing we should talk about, so again, we covered BioShock 1 and 2 in the collection. um let's just go through all the options that they got here. The big one is they finally give you. We should talk about audio as well. The audio again was super loudness, where in BioShock 1 it was like very low in the collection, and here I had to just like turn everything down. I was testing it off stream. Uh, but the big thing here is they give you controller options, which is fantastic because we've just finished having the first look at BioShock 1 and 2, and we was like, oh, you know, it holds up because of story and atmosphere and stuff. But if you're playing it in 2020, you know, I don't really know, because this came out at the end. Oh, what am I doing? This came out end of life of last generation. Um, so by now, you know, Call of Duties were ruling the hen house, ruling the roost, whatever the term. Like they was all over the place. So everybody had figured out, okay, this is how we want shooter controls to work. And even though all of the BioShock games, they're not really trying to make a shooter, I think with this one they went a little bit more. So yeah, the default controls are here exactly the same. Like vigor is your like your powers and everything, right? So it's still there. But here, yeah, you can just straight play as a like shooter controls basically, which is great. That's the you know, these are remasters and remakes. I don't know if that was in the original. I'm assuming it was. I haven't played the original, but yeah, they didn't give you no control layout options in the first game. In the second game, they did give it to you, but they still didn't want you to let you play as a shooter. And I think purposely they didn't let you play as a shooter. But here, you know, you could just go in and play it straight as a shooter. What difficult options? We just go medium. So yeah, some at the time everybody was like, oh, this is great, this looks so great, the story's so great, and obviously it's 2020 now, and time, especially what's going on with the world right now and everything. You know, people are like, oh, I don't know if the story still holds up. Like, it's got some real holes in it, especially if it's telling a race story.
Booker,
Um,
are you afraid of God?
No,
But one thing people do
I'm
clearly say
afraid
that
of
this
you.
holds up with is like artistic style, though. And I actually mean by art. Actually, I mean like art. Not, oh, this is a games or art form. I mean like actual art. So people say like, oh, the story and everything and the atmosphere holds up in one. They
Are
still
you
know
going
that
to
it's not a
just
great
sit
shooter.
there?
But
As compared to what? Standing.
here's like,
Not
oh wait, the
standing.
art's very
Rowing.
cool.
Rowing. Hadn't planned on it.
So you expect me to shoulder
What's
the
this?
burden?
No. But I do expect you to do all the rowing.
Yeah, but straight
why
away
is
you're gonna
that?
Coming here was
notice
your
that
idea.
My idea.
you
I
can
made it
tell
very clear
Irrational
that I
worked
don't
on
believe
this
the
one because you'll
exercise.
see the
The rowing?
opening of BioShock
No.
1 and
Imagine
the
that's
opening
wonderful
of BioShock
exercise.
Infinite are
They
kind of
what?
very
The
similar,
entire
and
thought
they
experiment.
leave a
Excuse me?
mark
How much longer?
One goes
better.
into an experiment knowing one could
But
fail.
also,
It's
yeah,
not
again, I
fun
should
taking
put out the audio
experiments knowing
stuff.
one has failed.
Can we get back to the rowing?
I suggest you do, but we're never going to get there.
No, I mean I'd greatly appreciate it if you would assist.
What you're
Perhaps you
gonna
should
notice in a
ask
second
him.
is, yeah, I don't know if
He has
it's
a
like
greater interest in
missing
getting there than I do.
reverb
I
or like
suppose he does.
distance
There's no one I
control.
can ask him.
Look
Why
how
not?
loud
Because he
these two
doesn't
sound.
row.
But watch
He
this. I'm
doesn't
gonna go into
row.
the pier and
No.
they're gonna still sound
He
exactly the
doesn't
same
row.
loudness.
I see what you mean. We've arrived.
Time. Watch this. You'll notice this the first thing.
Shall we tell him when we'll be returning?
Would that change anything?
It might
These-
give him some comfort.
At least that's something we can agree on.
See, it sounds like they're
Hey,
right in my ear, right? There's
Somebody
no
meeting me here?
I'd certainly hope so.
It
There's
does
no-
seem like a dreadful place to be stranded.
no distance stuff. It just sticks out to me. I'm not sure if anybody else is seeing that. So, yeah. So you know how BioShock 1 swam toward a lighthouse, kind of looked like a lighthouse, and here now it just started on. Oh, we're on a boat.
Excuse me. It's Booker DeWitt. I guess you're expecting me?
Use basin. Oh wait, again subtitles. Hold on. I try is like check if Are the V-Sync options still there? Difficulty level, floating combat text, adaptive terrain, enable, disable, help suggestions during combat, skyline control, enable HUD markers. Nope. Unless I'm missing something somewhere. Aim assist, HD rumble, graphics, highlight importance, search for enemy health. Unless I'm missing it somewhere. Oh, I keep forgetting that I've set it to actual like shooter controls now.
Good luck with that, pal.
Thousand shall watch G. So yeah, you're gonna get you're gonna start to see where this story is going straight away. Real like, you know, old America, hella racist, Boston Tea Party kind of stuff. And then in here, I don't know how story spoiler should be.
Is anyone here? Hello?
It's kind of based around that. But yeah, the reason people say this is at least like, regardless of how the story is, some people think is not told well from a POC perspective, and the issues is highlighting like these days it doesn't maybe hold up well enough, and it should be more care should have been taken with it. You know, so there's gonna be conversations around that, but out of all of them though, this one is at least playability wise, I'm going to say. Obviously, like people say BioShock 1 is more interesting playability wise, because this came out late at the end of PS3, Xbox 360 generation. It plays like a modern shooter basically, especially if you change those controls. I feel like that's why people still don't disappoint us. That's why still people say, oh, you know, maybe this is the best, and they still like it, whatever. But yeah, that's all I can say. Obviously, I haven't played every single one all the way through. I was so close to getting this at the end of last gen, and then but it came out so late. I was like, oh, they're gonna port this to next gen. I'll wait, and then I never ended up. I didn't end up getting it. Now, if you heard a conversation around it, you're like, and 2020, man, I don't know. But yeah, artistically, for graphics wise, I mean, an actual like play like a modern day shooter. And I shouldn't play, like, obviously we're just starting the game. You're gonna see what I'm talking about when we say artistically in a second. This is a hell of a good looking game. Like, just give it like 5 minutes and you're gonna know what I'm going on about. It's funny, right? So we covered the other day, we covered Mist.
Like they expect me to sit in their fancy chair.
And I was looking at this, I was like, wow, this seems like right out of Mist.
So
You've got to have played Mist to know what I'm talking about.
Make yourself ready, Pilgrim. The bindings are there as a safeguard.
Again, audio with this one though, it was like, it seems like audio is way off with this one. It seems like everything's borderline peaking. I turned down master audio and everything is just loud. Heavy. Pull that audio stuff out. Performance wise, it seems like it's 30 FPS lock. That can't be 100% sure on the resolution. I thought I saw talk of 720. I'm not 100% sure.
just stay calm.
5,000 feet. 10,000 feet. 15,000 feet. Hallelujah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was playing a little bit of this off stream to like sort out audio stuff. Now it's still very good looking. Like artistically, it's like you know, it's like everything they did like burial with BioShock 1. It was like 30,000 leagues under the sea. There's a world under the sea. Blah blah blah. Is that same principle, but in the sky this time. Um. But yeah, this is like hell of Christian messaging and like a certain time in American history, but in the sky. When you learn that in the first couple of minutes, you'll see. And the prophet shall lead the people to the new Eden on the way to the city. Like looking at this game, I'm like hella impressed. I'm like, damn man, like
Seed of the prophet.
yo, I'm actually out here playing this on a Switch. Still very impressive to me. Like especially with a game like this, right? It wouldn't, even if it is 720p. Yeah, that's why the conversation is like, yeah, this holds up. I want to say this ain't even that old. What year did this come out? Somebody in Twitch chat, do me a solid. When did this come out?
Love the prophet because he loves the sinner. Love the sinner because he is you. Without the sinner, what need is
Get out of this place.
without sin? What grace has forgiveness?
But that one Far Cry
Excuse
game
me. Where
tried to
am
do
I?
something
Heaven, friend. Or as close as we'll see till judgment
like
day.
this, right? I mean, like
Just
not
keep
like
such questions to myself, unless I want to get made.
not like in religious tone. I mean, I don't want to spoil the big reveal if you've never seen this game before. You're gonna see in like 2 minutes.
And every year, on this day of days, we recommit ourselves to our city and to our prophet, Father Comstock. We recommit through sacrifice and the giving of thanks, and by submerging ourselves in the sweet waters of baptism. And lo, if the prophet has struck down our enemies at wounded knee, is it someone new? Someone from the sodden below, newly come to Columbia to be washed clean before our prophet, our founders, and our Lord?
I just need passage into the city.
Passage to the city. Brother, the only way to Columbia is through rebirth in the sweet waters of baptism. Will you be cleansed, brother?
Consider this or turn around and get back on that rocket.
The only choice I got.
Hey. I baptize you in the name of our prophet, in the name of our founders, and the name of our Lord. I don't know, brothers and sisters, but this one doesn't look clean to me.
Did you see his eyes? Did you see his eyes? I should also point out this was Irrational's last game, right? If I remember correctly, this was the last game they did before they split the studio up. So this was the
Who's there?
this is their last thing.
What do you want?
We had a deal to it. Open this door right now.
I told you. Not gonna do it. Go away.
Mr. DeWitt! Mr. DeWitt!
That idiot priest needs to learn the difference between baptizing a man and
She
drowning one.
granted a sword of gold, so that
I need to
Eden
find a
would have
landmark and
strength
figure out where
that
the hell
set
I
her
am.
above all.
Our prophet fills our lungs with water, so they may better love the air.
Okay.
He who crossed the Delaware with flaming sword and wings of angels.
Against
Watch
ignorance
over
and
me
tyranny.
and lend
Share
me
with
By
me
the sword
shield
and the scroll
There's no chance,
and the key.
no luck.
Amen.
Just because the city flies don't mean it ain't got its fair share of fools. All right. Still got a girl to find.
That spoiler was a little bit early because I don't know why he said that. This is where we. All right, this is the big reveal if you've never seen BioShock Infinite. Right, is literally like is a city in the sky. That's why people always say the art style holds up, the art style holds up.
I bet we can have something. Good to see you.
Cause yeah, I shit you not, it really does. I'm a sucker for like pretty looking games. So also I don't know if it really matters 720p 30 FPS. I think that was the res on the original 360 and PS3 also, right?
I think it fails to capture Father Christ does not matter.
But yeah.
Who could be against all that?
Never hire an artist, my dear fellow. They are a temperamental and unreliable lot to a man.
Uh-huh.
I told him that the park is exceedingly far behind schedule.
Aye.
The landscaping is half finished. The statuary hasn't arrived. The fountain is full of rainwater, for God's sake. Even the marigolds are still unplanted. All work which should have been done.
Story time. Oh, maybe I thought I was gonna. What will the great prophet reveal next? Finn? Okay, I wasn't paying full attention.
Do you know what he told me? He said that he was tired.
Locate the statue of Columbine? So rather than like, you know, in BioShock 1 and 2, you had an arrow on the screen. If you press up on the D-pad, it kind of gives you a marker which way to go. And just stuff like that. Look at Electric Horse and I'm gonna say once again, hella pretty game. But this is also a lot more of like World of Tomorrow, right? City of
Columbia
Tomorrow.
Raffle and Fair. Huh.
Cities in the sky and stuff like that.
Strong in the sword, but a bit weak in the key, the scroll, if you get my meaning.
Would you care for a boutonniere? We're raising money for the Girls' Patriotic League.
Maybe next time.
You'd look
Maybe next
dashing
time.
with one in your
I'm gonna try because we could just ogle at the art for a while. I'm gonna try show you up on the D-pad, find a way show you like gameplay stuff because this opening is a little bit slower on this one. Rightfully so, because they're trying to set the mood and tone.
Yeah, that's where they said I'd find her.
Telegram, Mr. DeWitt.
Huh.
Telegram for you, sir.
DeWitt, stop. Do not alert Comstock to your presence. Stop. Whatever you do, do not pick number 77. Stop. Blue text.
Why, good day to you, sir.
Hello.
Zap, dude.
I agree.
You keep saying that.
Would you believe me?
Should we go in?
If I told you a man could hoist a 1-ton stallion straight into the air, would you believe me?
Maybe this game's got really bad timing of when it come out. I don't know when you're gonna watch this video, but with everything that is going on in America right now, especially the shit that Trump pulled yesterday. Like when this game was being made, it was like, ha ha ha, look how shitty here stuff was back in the day.
Have you ever seen anything like it?
And now we're like,
Sorry, pal. The raffle is off.
the game again did come out just last week.
It's time to take back control
Give me one
from
of
the men
those.
of metal.
with just a whisper. They're all ears.
And here, this is where we find out our abilities and stuff. You can see the BioShock gameplay. Yeah, sorry, I was going back to like, you know, when people were playing this, like, I want to say after like 2010 or whenever it came out.
Press to turn machines into allies.
The story would have been way more palatable. Possession, press L to make a machine friendly to you. Okay.
What the hell was that?
Well, if it isn't Assemblyman Buford,
It's interesting,
your
even
spotted
though
raffle awaits.
they got like the
Don't know
hack
why.
machinery.
Heads.
Or tails.
Come on, let me through.
Heads.
Or tails.
All right, let's flip it.
Tails.
Told you.
Wait, what happened? Did I just crouch?
Chin up. There's always next time.
I suppose there is.
Drop the children from the sky.
My role model? Why, Lady Comstock.
Man, I gotta say though, Ken Levine and that team Irrational definitely knew how to set a tone and atmosphere. Like 100%. Like Levine after this, the head director, producer, whatever you want to call him, after this he said he wanted to work on like smaller games and stuff, right? Not like big crazy stuff. I don't know what he's doing these days. He hasn't really been prolific this generation, right?
What the?
You shall know the false shepherd by his mark. Oh shit. Our Booker's the devil, shit.
We'll see about that. I'm feeling lucky. You always got a feeling.
And now, the 1912 raffle has officially begun!
Hey, mister.
Sorry, no sale.
Silly. There's never a charge for the raffle. You've been sleeping under a rock?
77.
77.
All right, you're about to see like where the
That's a lucky
story
number.
goes now.
I'll be
Kind of
rooting
gives you a
for
tone for what this game is.
Me!
And now that I'm thinking of it, I don't know if this is even personally to me very palatable right now with what's going on in the world.
All right then. The winner is number 77.
Oh, what do you know?
Over here! He's the winner!
Number 77, come and claim your prize. First throw.
They've literally got the monkeys there as well with the red lips. Ooh.
Please, what are you doing? Come on. Are you gonna throw it? Or are you taking your coffee black these days? Let her go, please. I'm the one you want. Oh, looks like we
Throw
got
out
a shy one
announcer,
here.
throw out couple. All right,
We've got to do
throw out
something about
announcer.
Son of a bitch.
Wait. It's him.
Now, where'd you get that brand, boy? Don't you know that makes you the backstabbing snake in the grass false shepherd?
And we ain't letting no
All right, we're gonna
false
see
shepherd
like
into our flock.
combat stuff here now.
Show 'em what we
The
got
combat stuff is a little bit more
boys.
cleaner. Yeah, it's a little bit more combat focused than BioShock 1 and 2.
Stop him!
Melee definitely feels hella satisfying in this.
Disconnect! Disconnect!
When you see a Scarlet enemy, you can hold that to finish them. Okay. But by now, like Call of Duty was the biggest thing in the world. You know, by now you wanted like they better have had like shooting controls down, right? But you can still like, you know, loot everybody, find do I not get my gun yet? Oh, I'm so glad that ADS is on the
I told you, Comstock. You sell 'em paradise, and the customers expect cherubs for every chore. No menials in God's kingdom. Well, I have a man in Georgia who'll lease us as many Negro convicts as you can board. Why, you can say they're simple souls in penance.
That's right.
for
Everybody's a
rising
piece
above
of
their
shit in this
station.
game.
Whatever eases your...
Possession adds the ability to possess humans who suicide when the effect expires. How much money have I got though? You know what? Sure, why not?
conscience.
Possession now turns machine and man into allies. Hold and release to create a ghostly trap.
L to turn press L to turn machine or people into allies. Hold and release L to create a possession trap.
Son of a bitch is in the park. Cut him off!
Alright, I know I keep pressing crouch. I was used to playing the first two games with terrible shooter controls. Yeah, I can't remember the original, so I don't know if they gave you the controls in the original. But it's definitely better for it here. Alright, do we wanna... Alright, possess him up there. Oh, missed that. Wait, is he not possessed no more?
I told you, Comstock.
Oh, do I have to
you
hear this
sell 'em
dipshit again?
paradise, and the customers expect cherubs for every chore.
If you press down, it always
God's
plays your
kingdom.
last.
Well, I have a man in Georgia who'll lease us as many Negro convicts as you can board. Why, you can say they're simple souls in penance for rising above
Little bit of
their
story spoiler though, if you are getting put off by this
Whatever eases
already.
your conscience,
What's
I
going on in the world? It is a story about helping people and like stopping this place from being like shitty and stuff. I'm trying to explain that lightly without giving big story spoiler points. So you do have like a cooldown on your abilities. I haven't seen the other big thing about the game yet. Hold on. Probably gonna die here. Need to possess that turret or die. What was I saying? I can't remember. Open the door. Yeah, gameplay wise, they have smoothed a lot of it up. Yeah, there's one more like obviously you get your VATs and all that. Not VATs, your abilities and all that stuff. But the other big thing is, which we should see in a second if I don't keep failing here. Alright, possess that so he can help me. Oh wait, I didn't need to possess that bit because yeah, don't shoot me. Oh, it's not possessed anymore. Give me this. Give me this.
It's getting hot. What's going on?
Where is he?
The vigor. This kicks. No, you only live once.
Hello. Maybe not. Don't drink it. All right, so this is where you see the first ability you get.
Press to throw a fiery grenade. Hold and release to create an explosive trap.
That wasn't no sample.
Wow. Devil's Kiss is equipped. Press L to throw. Alright, got it. How do I change? Wait there, I changed my controls and I don't know how to fire vigor menu. Oh, there is there. Is there, so you can like select what you want. Devil's Kiss, possession. The game trained me to It's basically like the grenade. Press R to switch to vigor. So you can quick switch as well. Eve area? Sure. Season pass award. Oh, so this had a season pass. It obviously it includes all the DLC. Golden machine gun upgrade. Okay. Industrial Revolution award. Okay. You've unlocked 3 pieces of gear. Collect them. Okay. You must collect all rewards before continuing. Okay. What's this? A look back at opening day. The dreamers of the prophet is finally afloat. Colombia begins her journey to spread America's something. I didn't read the rest. The prophet standing up to the foes within the 1901. Chinese boxers take what? They stand up for America. What thank? Washington to Comstock stand down. We stand behind the prophet. Yeah, like I keep saying, I don't know how to. I don't even know how to express it. Like, obviously, when this came out, it was like, oh, this kind of the world, America was very shitty, and the world was very shitty back then. Oh, we've progressed so much now. So this is kind of like satire, if that's the right way to put it. With everything that is going on with the protests and the rightfully so in America, this just. I literally played this like a week ago before it came out,
Why are you
and I was like,
following
okay, checking performance and stuff, and I was like, huh, this just doesn't sit right well with me at the moment. It still looks pretty and everything, but at the same time, if you look at some of like the deeper discussions around this game, this is what the discussions were around this game for years, but a lot of people didn't see it then. It wasn't fresh in their mind. Right? I was like, yeah, the game looks pretty, and they cleaned up the shooting, and it plays more like a shooter and all that. Everybody was like, even though it's trying to tell a happy-go-lucky story about they solve racism, whatever. I don't know where the ending goes. That's like the short version. Sorry, they don't solve racism. They help. People under racism, right, is like the short version of where the story is going. Um, Even then, though, it was like, yeah, is new pants, Ghost Soldier King. The Vigor Trap has a 70% chance to cause the enemy Gun to become a ghostly ally for a few seconds. Take gear, okay. Yeah, and this literally 2K published this like last week. So it came out as the BioShock Collection. And I heard like all the other versions of the collection got updated as well, like the PS4 version and everything got like stuff got added to and all that. You know, and a lot of everybody was saying, yeah, you know, is a story told about that kind of stuff, but is told from we just gotta be real, like Ken Levine's perspective, who was a white person, so like he really wouldn't know to an extent, right? What is going on, especially everything we see with like Black Lives Matter and everything now. That's like the main thing you hear is give us voices, don't like speak for us, right? You don't know what it is to walk in my shoes, and then that's why conversation does really make sense for. Since this came out, so much has changed in game. Well, you want to say so much has changed in the game, and like maybe not that much, but to an extent, right? We would like to think anyway. Increase maximum health. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just maybe bad timing for this, for when it came out, or like everything's just fresh in my mind as well, and everything that's going on in the world is kind of like bad taste in my mouth, even though it's trying to tell a story of, you know, free the slaves or whatever. Increase maximum health. Increase shield capacity. Increase soul capacity. Increase maximum health. So yeah, I haven't really. Sorry, I should. But that's like the background and everything about this. Like just getting back to the gameplay of this. Come into this room and like equip your buffs. And you got gear here. New pants. Bull rush. Melee targets are knocked back. I'll take that. Let's equip that. I think this might be DLC stuff. I'm not 100% sure. New hat, extra hat found when. Sure, I'll equip that. Figure is always a good thing, and then we probably should get a little bit of health and to not die. But the only other big gameplay thing that we're missing, so you can finally see what's going on. New boots, increased damage against handyman. Sure.
You'll find that handy in a
But you can glide around after eating a snack. Take gear. I don't want to equip that.
The difference between life and death.
And when evading, movement speeds increase. Okay. Wait, was there literally so much stuff in this room, or was some of it DLC related? Alright, we took everything else but that. If I press crouch one more time, I swear to God, I'm gonna lose my mind.
What was that?
Surprising.
Surprising that it worked.
Surprising that it didn't kill him.
But a magnetic repulsive field around one's body can come in handy.
If it doesn't kill you.
Effective.
Let me search. Alright, another audio clip.
Father Comstock called on me today to write his biograph. Me. The man pays for exactly 100 pages in advance. Now, I'm half a Jew when I smell silver, so I say, Father, your flock would pay for 1,000. You know, why settle for less? And then the prophet looks to me and says, 100 will suffice, as I know how it ends.
What do I... Oh, okay, so here's where we
Oh! Damn hook must be magnetized.
This is the next or should I say the last big gameplay thing from this game that they kind of changed. Perfect, we get to see it right here. Hold Y to pick up machine gun. Switch weapon. All right, got it. Yeah, they've got like they got way more movement stuff, and even the smoke still looks good there. It's like, look, this game is still a looker. Yeah, so like you can glide on railings and stuff later in a little while. Alright, that was Lock-on's fault. Legit then. Dude, look how... Oh, that looks good, I should... We need grenades. I have no idea who's shooting me. I forgot to loot people. Hold on.
Get after him!
Did he say he'll cripple me? It's got the Call of Duty auto lock on, by the way. It was hard to tell in the other games, but now you got ADS and shooting control. You're like, oh. Just like auto lock and
and he is prepared. The answer is not in panic, but in prayer.
I don't know, maybe you play this to statistically enjoy tearing through all the shit people. Where do we go? I'm getting real, and it's weird like how many games cribbed off of each other last gen. I'm getting real Dishonored. Getting some Dishonored vibes from this.
The one they're after. Go. Police, we're in need of your assistance.
They're here!
Shh. Keep your voice down.
Probably so much stuff in here to like look at and backstory and stuff, but
All right, let's move on.
we're good. the hell keeps shooting? It's weird. Yeah, because they made this way more shootery, and they got such cool art style here. They're telling a story that, you know, is not really palatable to me right now. When it came out, all right, it had some moments of, oh, you know, fuck shitty people, you're trying to make this world a better place. But it plays a lot like that Call of Duty shooters of that era. So it was like, oh, the last games. It was like BioShock 1 and 2 didn't really play well enough as a shooter. Is that you were struggling with the shooting mechanics, and this one, oh, they've sorted out the shooting mechanics, but they've made it too much Call of Duty style shooter. Where it's like, no, like this, okay, what they should have been was, okay, you fix the shooter mechanics right now, slow it down to let us enjoy the scenery and everything, and you know. It's like, no, we fixed the shooter mechanics, so we're just gonna go ham and make it a shooter. But like, did they forget that nobody didn't, even though you made it a more like playable shooter, nobody didn't come to any of the BioShock games for the shooting anyway. So that is kind of weird in this one. So you're like weird, right? Just for, like, so it's weird just for like to have that conversation, right? Like, huh? Okay, maybe they was right until it was onto something. Like the reason they made shooting controls weird in BioShock 1 and 2, like, no, we don't want you to play this as a shooter. Okay, and then they finally relented and said, all right, fine, we'll give you shooter controls here, which was the right thing to do. But then they also said, okay, no, we're just gonna make this play a lot like of the Call of Duty shooters at the time. Like, obviously this is the first hour look, right? Just to get way deeper later. The shooting stuff really does feel like that to me, which is a shame because the art's nice. Because I mean, did they really fix the shooting mechanics? Did they fix the shooting mechanic? It's still very clunky, and the 2 weapon system sucks. I mean, fix the shooter mechanic as, you know, you got ADS now. I mean, I should not say fix, I should say competent shooter. Does that make sense? There's like, okay, we're gonna make this a competent shooter, but then all right, you made a competent shooter, but then don't go out and turn it into a Call of Duty, right? I didn't want that. I wanted it so when the shooting does happen, like, it's a competent shooter. That doesn't mean like. Does that make sense? Because I will reiterate like what I said. We covered all 3 of the collection right now as well. I didn't want to come to any of the BioShock games for the shooting, right? It's nice that it's a competent shooter now, but I still didn't want to come to these as shooters. So that was kind of weird. Like, they went like, yo, we've made a competent shooter now, but nah, we're gonna full on auto aim and hide and like million enemies running to you at once. I was like, oh wait, I would have much preferred if it was slower paced and it was like, you know, absorbing the art and all that. And later on, it gets way more actiony as well. Because it really is, oh, you glide on rails and you do quick kills, and you know, one of your first powers you get is literally grenades. So it's weird, like you build all this world and this artistic style. You're in space, not space. You're in the sky and all that. And then all you did was like, sure. I'm like, now that I'm playing this, because I try to do as much research around this and everything as possible before I cover games, right? And these were the conversations that were happening around this game. And now that I'm playing it, I'm like, oh wait, I kind of see what everybody was talking about. I kind of get it.
I see him.
It's kind of weird for the devs, right? Because I'm sure they was probably hearing it at the time. It was like, oh, your shooting controls ain't the best, and the devs were going, yeah, but we're not really trying to make a shooter. And then they finally relented and said, you know what, Call of Duty's massive. All right, fine, we'll give you the shooting controls. But then they went and made a shooter. No, maybe you shouldn't have gone all the way with it. We just wanted competent shooting controls. Again, this is just like first hand take, just having a quick look at it. Some people say this is like the best one out the three, you know. Obviously stuff is very raw for me right now of what's going on in the world as well, so I don't really want to hear his story right now. You know, the game still looks hella nice. I think as a total package, I would probably still prefer the first one, but I just wish that they would have just added, like, you know, normal ADS on triggers, shooting controls, but in the pace of that game. I mean, I suppose if you get the collection, because that's what we are covering, right? The collection, even though it's going to go up as separate videos, like, you have your choice, right? Because all 3 games are in the collection. I suppose each one has something for somebody, right? If you really wanted that artistic style, or if you got the first one, if you wanted more of the same of the first one, you got the second one. And if you was like, oh, you know, I like Ken Levine's and Irrational's style and thinking and all that, but I want a shooter, then you got kind of this one. Let me... I really wanted to show a little bit more of like it goes literally clan members here. I wanted to show a bit more of the like the gliding stuff. I don't know if we're gonna get to it right here though. Also, I totally haven't been doing anything right now. Where is he? Go there.
Perfect.
Again, we should make it clear, like, remember, they are trying to paint you out. Like, you learn more about Booker DeWitt's story later, and I'm not going to spoil it. But right now, they are trying to make it here as in, oh, look, you are killing their version of KKK, right? It's weird, though. Like, we've been playing for over an hour, and one of the main characters in the game we haven't even seen yet. But she was all over the trailers originally when the game came out anyway. Wait, what? What did I do? Oh, every room looks the same?
Shortly after 1 o'clock this afternoon, the scoundrel, believed now by many to be Vox Populi, began his terrible rampage. Trouble began almost instantly. Full of wrath and bent on harm, the anarchists maliciously wounded several Colombian peacemakers. Before then, arming
That goes because, like, they feel the shooting isn't great, so the constant focus on combat makes it even worse. Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of console shooters, and I played a lot of COD of that time of, oh, you ADS and zoom and shoot. I think it's totally competent and it does the job. to me, it's more of, this feels a lot like, yo, we wanted to make a halfway house shooter. I didn't want to come into this for a shooter. So I'm not complaining because the shooting's bad. Like arguably if it's good or bad, right? Like try saying, oh, they didn't like it because the shooting was bad. No, I'm saying, no, there's just too much shooting. I would have rather seen it as, oh, you got this cool artistic world you made. When I say artistic, I mean actual art this time. I want to see, you know, you explore this world at a slower pace. Alright, is this the big... With Devil's Kiss equipped to hold and release out to create an explosive trap? Why'd you need explosive trap when alright, it wants me to actually use... Wait, did that work? I don't know. But still, like, regardless of all that, we're just speaking critically of a game that came out a long time ago, right? You know, like, there's one thing you cannot argue. Like, they went for a look, and they sure hit that look.
What's this? Some new kind of vigor? That's a hell of a
Some kind of vigor?
Press to summon murderous crows. Hold and release to create a nest trap.
Press L to summon murderous crows to stun damage your enemies. Hold L to create a nest trap. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cool. Like, if they focus more on that going forward, again, like, I'm just commenting on what we seen in the first hour, right? I hope they go way more ability stuff as well, because that's a cool ability. New hat burning holds 70% chance to melee target. And at least it seems like they don't your like your vigor and stuff is not really low, right? For like obviously your possession stuff, it cools down. But this is like they gave you 5 or 6 uses. Oh, okay. You don't even have to look. Just look at it. Sorry. All right. Yeah, this is the kind of the movement stuff that is in the game that I wanted to show you. There's like stuff that you glide on later as well. I mean, like, there you have it. I feel like that's a good first look at this, right? BioShock Infinite. It still looks hella nice. I just don't want him to come and attack me while I was. It still looks hell of nice. Story-wise, people were talking for years. It doesn't really hold up right now with what's going on in the world. It definitely like, you know, it's just not gonna be to everybody's taste right about now. But yeah, the game definitely is a looker. It runs well on the Switch. We're just talking about if you're buying this as the collection, there's free full games, so there's a lot of game here, right? 30 FPS. I haven't seen those stutters, drops, or anything like that. It is, I mean, it should kind of look nice as well, because again, it's like 17 point something gig as a download as well, though. So it's not a small download. Out of all the free, this is the biggest one. But performance wise, it definitely hits what last generation hit. Obviously it's not gonna be able to match what this generation hit, because those all got updated, but what, like that last gen experience, here's that pretty well, right? So there you have it. That was a first look at BioShock Infinite, the collection, or you know how they individually refer to it as the complete edition. Again, you can buy this individually, or like how we're playing it as part of the actual collection. Mind this review copy provided by the publisher. There will be a highlight of this also going up on Twitch and YouTube. Let me know in the comments what you think. You know, which one did you prefer out of the three? You like that, how the gameplay went in this one? Drop a like if you like that video, subscribe or follow depending if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube. Turn those notification bells on all those platforms so you know when new videos drop. Don't forget to come check me out over on Twitch. Stream there a couple times a week. Got community Discord, got Twitter. All that information will be in the description. Don't forget also there will be videos for BioShock 1 Complete Edition or Collection, or BioShock 2 Complete Edition Collection. The naming is kind of weird because again, not only can you buy each one of these games individually on Switch because they got released at the same time, or as a collection. So if you're interested in any of those and performance and how they run, there should be first looks of those as well. Appreciate it.